Did it cross your mind to just, since we have a family business, why not just work for my dad or, diba, continue our business?
I think the last thing I wanted to do was actually work for my dad at that time.
What would you say was your biggest mistake, or have you ever had anything done technically wrong that you felt like, oh my God, kasalanan ko to?
Ended up losing money out of it, and I didn't make the mistake one time. I did it twice.
So, ang question ko, which changed you more? Becoming a lawyer, becoming a businessman, or technically becoming a father?
So, Attorney Ken, bilang a person of your success and stature, ngayon, ito na yung tanong ko. What is more important? Is it time or pera?
Every big success story starts with one thing.
The Benta.
Man, the first thing I ever sold was...
We wanted to work with the call centers and the BPOs.
I feel if tinuloy ko siya, grabe, feel ko magbuboom din siya now.
First sale, so medyo maliit.
This is the show where we talk to the people who turned that first sale into an empire.
I know that once we set the systems in place, then we can go higher.
It's so easy to glamorize being a boss, a girl boss. But then they forget about, rolling up their sleeves, doing the dirty work.
Nakatikim na ako ng ganong kalaking monthly sales. Ayoko nang pakawalan.
We dive deep into the real systems, the raw struggles, and the biggest lessons learned from those who made it from nothing to something.
Don't overthink it. Just get out there and do it. Bring it out on the market and get that first customer.
You've heard the brand?
Now meet the boss. Welcome to Benta Bosses by QuotableAI.
Mga boss, question. Ano ang mas importante? Time o pera? Dahil sa mundo ng negosyo, isa to sa dapat mong pinag-iisipan. Ano nga ba ang mas mahirap masayang?
Today, we explore the value of time and money through the story of an extraordinary man that tries to maximize it both.
With us today is the vice president of a furniture brand from their family's decades-long furniture business na talaga namang truly stood the test of time. Chances are, if you are in the workforce now, nakaupo ka na sa gawa nila.
Let us all welcome the boss on the chair today. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Ken C. I'm vice president of Mobler Contract Group. And thanks for that intro, by the way.
Welcome.
So we can see.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those hearing it for the first time, what is Mobler Contract Group and what do you sell?
So Mobler Contract Group is a manufacturing and a distribution company. And we basically sell everything from office furniture to some smattering of home furniture for our resellers and distributors.
So basically, nasa Pilipinas lang po yung manufacturing natin.
Yes. We do our local manufacturing. Not everything we do sell is manufactured, by the way. So I mentioned trading because we also do import some items just to complete the whole line.
Okay. Kilalanin muna natin si Attorney Ken.
Yeah.
So Attorney Ken, because I heard na lawyer din po pala kayo. Tell us about your family background and about who you are.
Well, I grew up in the business. So my dad started it about 50 years ago.
Tagal na.
So even during when I was I guess I grew up in the house and being from a Chinese family, where you work is where you live.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So our house was upstairs. The factory was downstairs. I grew up around it.
Mm-hmm.
We even had the basketball court where I play with some of our workers after school. And I mentioned I grew up around the business because, even during my summers, I would spend it working at the office. Sinabi nga nila stereotype Chinese son or son in the business.
Did you get paid when you were doing that work? Like,
I wasn't as smart back then.
Because ako din, side note ko lang, sa parents ko din po, sa side job ako.
Yeah.
Pero nanghihingi po ako ng bayan.
Ano na pala talaga?
Very business-oriented. Correct. So, to continue, sir, yes.
Yeah. So like I said, I grew up around the business. So I accompany our delivery trucks to some of our dealers that we sold to. Okay. And I remember, so we would manufacture these, back in the day, 1980s. So we had computer tables, and we had TV cabinets, and I'd help with cleaning them to prepare them for delivery to our customers.
How old were you back then?
It was a grade 4, grade
Wow,
5.
in fairness, grade 4,
Grade
very,
3,
very
grade 4,
young.
yeah, around that time. Yeah. That's as far back as I can remember.
All right. So, Sir Ken, can you tell us more about your educational background?
So I went to a Chinese school, just about 10 minutes away from it's called Xavier School. Shout out. and after that, I was given the opportunity to take my studies abroad. So I studied industrial engineering at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. So I was there for about 6 years.
Very interesting, sir, ha? Like from engineering to you becoming a lawyer and then now running a company for the whole family. So ano po yung naging first career natin after like graduating from engineering?
Yeah, so after engineering, I worked in the IT industry. Around that time, around the year 2000, that was when all these .com companies sprouted up.
Right.
Mga ka-age ko, alam pa nila yung Netscape, okay?
Yeah.
Yahoo siguro, nandiyan pa naman ang Yahoo eh.
Yeah.
Okay? Pero may Internet Explorer pa, yan.
That's
So
true.
these were everybody wanted to work for a startup. And so just like being any graduate back then, the dream was to graduate, work for a startup, get your stock options, strike it rich, and then retire. Then the .com bubble burst.
Right.
That was around 2000. And that's when, and I think that was coupled also because 9/11 came about.
Yeah.
A lot of companies started folding, including the company I was working for at that time. Yeah.
How long did you work for that company?
I worked for that company for about a year.
Okay.
When the .com bubble burst, fortunately, I was one of the fatalities. So I had to choose whether to find a way to stay in the US and continue my career there. There weren't that many IT opportunities. So
Right.
the dream was over. So maybe try my luck by going back home and perhaps there would be more opportunities there. So that was my journey in the IT industry. I worked there for a couple of years and I wanted to do and strike out things on my own.
Right. So what happened next after that bubble burst? Ano yung parang trigger pagbalik niyo po sa Pilipinas? Ano yung nangyari?
Well, a couple of things. Well, number one, the industry that I wanted to be in, which was IT, I mentioned all these startup companies. They weren't hiring.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, I had to look at what opportunities were out there, be realistic about whether I could get in or not. I was a student.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, tago ng tago. Okay. So I was a student at an F1 visa and, it was going to expire. So I had to basically choose to go home.
Right.
I see. But coming back here in the Philippines, sir, was it still a goal for you to work in the tech company? Or you already have, did it cross your mind to just, since we have a family business, why not just work for my dad? Or,
Yeah.
diba, continue our business.
I think the last thing I wanted to do was actually work for my dad at that time.
Which is actually quite normal.
Yeah.
I guess like, kunwari may mga friends din ako na ganun. Parang yun yung last thing on their list, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always want to do and strike out something on your own, right?
That's
Make
true.
your own path and at least, it won't be something like wherein, hey, this is just a fallback, it was something that you did something on your own and you were invited back. So,
Understood. Pero what did you do? So you worked back here in the Philippines and then you got an IT job, IT related job.
Yeah, so I did work for a company. It was called Jupiter System. It's still here right now. It's a ERP company. So they make accounting software for companies. And I worked there doing technical consulting and stayed there for, I don't know, like a year and a half or so. And that was when, the entrepreneurial bug hit, wherein I wanted to try and do something on my own.
Oh, what made you decide, sir, to, pivot and, explore that entrepreneurial plan after working for that ERP company?
Well, this was where I started getting exposure to a lot of IT companies here in the Philippines. And so the company I was working for, they were in software distribution. So they would sell software that will be sold by these companies. So I was thinking at that time, having had a IT background, having done engineering, having sort of built a network while working here, perhaps I could find a problem that could help solve these companies' issues
Mhm.
through software and
Right.
be able to distribute that for them as well.
Right. So by any chance, like how did you put your father's business like as the center of your knowledge? Na meron ka sa ERP system at that point.
I think at that time wasn't there yet. I mean,
Right.
I to focus. Everything was about my own training, my
Mhm.
own. I was sort of like the previous question you guys asked was if I wanted to go and join the family business, and really at that time that was like the last thing that I was thinking of. So
Mhm.
I wanted to set out my own IT path. So even as an entrepreneur, I didn't want to be in the furniture business.
Right.
That's like the last thing I was thinking of. At that time.
Right. Okay.
And so that was when I did actually decide to stop working. I came and wanted to get an angel investment from my father
Uh-huh.
to fund a possible IT business.
Oh, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
what was the idea that you pitched to your dad
Okay.
para ibenta sa kanya?
Yeah. So at that time, there were these other different software solutions. One of them it's called CRM. So
Mhm.
I didn't see. I saw a big opportunity for it here in the Philippines, and there didn't seem to be a big market of companies who were aware of it at that time.
Uh-huh.
So it's like trying to get ahead
Uh-huh.
and to do sales,
Mhm.
support, and distribution for that system. My father, being the wise angel investor as he is, shut down my idea, okay, and said, here's the thing. He says, if you want to succeed doing business in the Philippines, the first thing you have to build are those relationships.
Ah,
And he said, you didn't go to school here. Well, I went to school here for high school,
yeah.
but I haven't built that network for me
Right.
to start becoming successful right away.
Uh-huh.
Perhaps he knew that, most entrepreneurs who do actually go into business, they go into a line where they've actually built some goodwill
Mhm.
and they could use and leverage those networks.
Right.
Good use.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So, ano yung na-feel mo? Like, kung ako yun, sabihin sa akin ng dad ko na, no. Ano yung feeling mo? Because, syempre, di ba, you're...
Yeah.
So, when you have an idea and you believe in that idea, sobra grabe yung feelings mo about that idea. You kind of get fixated. So, what happened to you after that no?
Well, he actually offered me a plan B kasi. Alright, so-
okay. May plan
Oh,
B.
he
Ano yung
offered me a plan B. He said, okay, you may not be ready now,
Mhm.
but how about you try to develop a business network here in the
Mhm.
Philippines while working for our company. And
Na-segue.
then, if you do decide to strike it out on your own, then we can consider it.
So, what did you do next?
Then that's when I joined the family business.
I see.
Magaling. Actually, magaling mag-negotiate
Yeah,
si
oo.
dad. Diba? Ang galing niya. Na-segue niya po, pabalik doon. Diba?
Yeah.
Pero what did he do in terms of you joining the business na now?
Yeah. Well, so we're a family of we're actually 4 boys.
Mhm.
Oh.
So my eldest brother actually joined the business already, and he was already making a big headway into the distribution side of things. He was
Right.
introducing all these new products. He was being very aggressive, and we saw an opportunity where call centers started sprouting. 2003, 2000, there were these companies called e-telecare,
Uh-huh.
Size,
Oh, yeah.
these
Yeah,
companies, okay? There still is here. But he felt that there was an opportunity to do office cubicles,
Mhm.
furniture, and it's more of a service-related business
Right.
as opposed to selling a product. When you do sell a product, it's just really looking at a catalog. But
Mhm.
Yes.
when you're doing service businesses, you're talking to the customer, you're getting the requirements, you're understanding it, then you're providing a solution. And that was one thing we weren't doing at that time.
Okay.
So he tapped me to do that.
Right.
So that was the time that you went into customization and tailor fitting the office furniture.
Yeah.
for-
Yes. Because
those
everything we were
projects.
doing
Yeah.
back then, it was like making furniture from an assembly line.
Mhm.
So we'd produce 100 pieces of this table or this
You kind
cabinet.
of have a standard na po, no?
Yeah.
Parang a standard
Yes.
table of a 120 by 60 centimeters.
Right.
Yeah.
Tama
Right.
po, no?
Right.
Yeah.
But when you do office furniture, it's
Mhm.
per size. It's based on a certain
Yes.
space.
Mhm.
It's a little more bespoke. And
Yes.
once you do that one project, that project will never get duplicated
Mhm.
anymore. Every
Right.
customer is different.
Okay. So that's where you started with the family business. But we started with asking Sir na Attorney Ken.
Yeah.
So,
oo.
paano po nag-start yung law school naman in between of all these mga happenings in your life?
Imagine it from engineering to tech,
Yeah.
diba? And then
Ang dami nangyayari.
becoming a lawyer.
Ang daming ano eh. Ang dami ng utang, no?
Yeah.
Well, I work for the family business, and remember I told you that story where I was thinking of sort of him working in that business so I could groom myself to do and start my own business.
Mhm.
Well, I looked at my bucket list, and that's when I decided that I was going to venture and do something on my own, and that was called law school.
Hard reality check ba? It's the wrong calls, the old systems, the frictions in business, and the late night hustle.
On Benta Bosses, we skip the theory. We get straight to the real talk from the founders, CEOs, and operators.
At kung interesado ka in learning how you can overcome these business reality checks, visit QuotableAI.
If you're looking to streamline your business from quotes and orders to procurement, fulfillment, and global payments, check out QuotableAI, built for growing businesses. This is Benta Bosses
by QuotableAI. Oh, as in parang de-decide nyo na lang siya. Did you ever thought about going to law school like prior to this? Or bigla na lang siya nag-pop up?
I knew I did, and I knew that one of my most favorite movies back in the day was called The Firm,
Mhm.
which had
okay.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
This was like
Mhm.
mid-90s. Love that movie. But I didn't go into pre-law. I didn't take philosophy. I didn't take any of those courses. I did apply for legal management, I think, in one of the colleges here.
Mhm.
But I think it was always there that was in the back of my mind. And you wanted to make sure that before you got older, before time starts running out,
Exactly.
you're going to go and do what you want, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you entered law school, you were working at the same time. That
Yes.
was the setup.
Yes.
What were the struggles during those times that you are, juggling work and then studying, I guess, at night? Is that?
Yeah. So our law school had an evening option.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So classes would start at 6 p.m.
So talagang after work.
after work. Yes.
But
And it'll go
I-
till like 8 or 9.
But I heard you went to a very, very good law school.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
paano niyo po ginawa yun?
At malayo pa. Okay?
Kaya nga, paano niyo po ginawa yun?
I was blessed, I suppose, with good genes. that I could pass the entrance exam.
Right.
Yeah.
Pero did you ever told your dad or your family that you were gonna go through law school while doing work for him? Or was it like, hindi, gagawin ko na lang to?
It's more the latter one. They only
Really?
found out when I was already there in the law. I'm trying to remember how I said it. Now that probably was the first week of law school. I was working and I said, "Hey, I have to go to class." And they probably asked me, "Hey, where are you going to class?" "Oh, I enrolled in law school." You can tell us.
Parang kung ako din yung dad mo, ganun din yung reaction ko.
Yeah.
But beside the
For sure.
studies, what were really the benefits of you going to law school and then also working together?
Well, number one, I think that if you're studying and doing business at the same time, you have to learn how to manage your time.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
where would I put in the time to study? Law school
Exactly.
is quite hard. I don't
Very
think
hard.
I did that well in law school, but I was able to manage it.
Mhm.
Number two, you do build a network when you're out there. You're around a lot of, I'd dare to say, there people who I know are much smarter than me.
Mhm.
Okay. So even picking off their ideas, hearing from them, being in law school, and we would talk about the law and scenarios and current events. It's what I call intellectual food.
How young were you, sir, during the time that you were
20
studying in law school?
28.
28.
Yeah.
So
So I entered law school. I had been working for the family business for about 5 years.
Right. So medyo matagal na rin.
So that's, you were pretty older compared to your classmates during that time. So I guess, the dynamic is different. You get to meet a lot of young ones with different, mindsets. And
There's a big percentage of students that you would say they basically finished college and went straight to law school.
that's true.
Mhm.
There's also a big percentage of people who decided to do it as a second career or just like me came in later. I remember I had this one classmate. He was like head of urology for
What?
for a hospital.
Huh?
He was 40 years old. And I
Grabe
said,
yun.
what are you doing here?
Yeah. I would ask the same question.
Exactly. He must have run out of challenges, right? Sorry.
Who else did you meet along the way? Like going to law school, who else did you meet? Like in terms of people, because you were building networks and probably people who would you parang mamimit mo in the future.
Is there a special person?
Parang ganun na nga.
Ganun na ba?
Well, not exactly. Well, I'd say it's a mix. Just last Saturday, I was having dinner at a Chinese restaurant and I happened to see a classmate that I haven't seen for about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And I remember him. His nickname was Pawikan, which is like for turtle.
Yeah, turtle.
And his story was that name was because he would work for an NGO that worked with animals. And when I saw him, he said, hey, his name was William. And I said, what are you doing? And then we started catching up.
Right.
And so I knew he was already older than me. He was teaching already at the Ateneo when he entered law school. So you do get a big mix of people that you get to work with. And we also get to work with some of the younger students out there.
Back at the time, sir, that you were taking up law, then working at the same time, were you still single that time?
Because
I'm just curious because you're doing a lot of things, diba? Juggling work and studies. So I guess at 28, I don't know, it's already a marrying age.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, that's a challenge in time management. I have a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend. She's now my wife. So I met her when I was going to law school and she was actually going to college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pero at least doon mo siya mamimit.
Yeah.
Sometimes talaga, you meet the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
I think that's the very reason why he was led to go into UP and
Maybe.
going to law
Baka
school.
yun yung yun
Maybe.
yung...
Oh no, she was going to the Ateneo.
Okay.
On the way lang.
Okay.
Correct. So during law school and doing your business with the family, how was your relationship with your dad? With him being technically, he sounded like he was your mentor. So what was the relationship like?
It was, well, he was always a dad figure to me. And that's probably some of the difficulty where you sort of separate those lines between what is your boss
right
and how he is as your dad. Although we haven't really had arguments over dinner, if that's what you're asking. He would bring me to meet suppliers. He would introduce me. We would talk about, we would share a desk. So we would bounce off ideas with each other. And we'd also argue a lot. So I'd say it was a relationship where we got to hear a lot of each other.
How influential was your dad to you, Sir Ken? And if you can share with us, some learnings from working in his business, working along with him, ano yung mga pwede mo i-share sa mga boss natin?
Well, my dad was an electrical engineer, and when he started the business, and so when you're born 1959, those are called baby boomers, no? So they're really into the business, like they want to know all the details.
Yeah.
So he would always tell me the devil is in the details. So he would jokingly say, you Western born or college born, you all think everything is about delegating. you can't just delegate. You've got to learn the details. Got to make
That's
sure
true.
that everything is right. So he taught me that. And I think my what I'm trying to learn right now is how do I pull back from micromanaging as
Yeah.
well, because that got so ingrained in my head about
Yeah.
the devil is in the details. But it is very valuable. You can't live without it.
That's true. Actually, nare-realize din natin, pag nasa business ka talaga, sometimes when you know everything, dun mo marirealize na parang yung mga detalye na kala nila hindi mo alam mo, which is also a pro for the owner or the founder, because technically, kahit mawala sila, kaya mong sumalo.
Yes.
So I think that's what your dad was teaching you at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a production guy. He was a sales and marketing guy.
Mhm.
He was a
Was all
relationship
around,
guy,
yeah.
and he knew his numbers. So I've tried to at least make sure I dabble myself in all those areas, which is learning all the details.
That's true. Diba tama, Daryl? Ganun din yung feeling kasi. Like for me, running also my business, lagi nila sinasabi, you have to take a step back. But for me kasi, it's very important to know everything in it versus like just looking at everyone from afar.
Yeah. Pero grabe lang, no, how blessed si Sir Ken na magkaroon ng mentor, di ba? Like his dad. So ngayon naman, Sir Ken, let's talk about that unang benta. Around the time na pumasok kayo sa family business, what would you consider your first sale?
The first major sale. Okay. I remember. I mentioned that the business was different because we would work with the customer instead, directly. So at that time, I think a government agency was LTO. They were doing driver's license. So we were working with this company who would supply and modernize all the LTO offices.
Right.
So we had to work with them to further desk. And this wasn't something that we made before. So we were able to get one contract, that blessed us and gave us that all those desks that the LTO offices were being able to outfit. So that was the first big project.
And that was a very, very good first benta, I would say.
Oo.
Because it's such a big contract to have
Yes.
like all the offices converted.
Yeah.
So grabe, kung ako yun, oh my God,
Yeah.
proud moment.
Imagine, sites, di ba, nationwide ng LTO. Covered na yun for sure.
Yeah, and proud ako yun. Iba talaga yung pride when you see the
sabi
product
yun.
like in real life. So what else happened after that one? What kind of clients did you get or did you land after that government project?
So I mentioned that when we were thinking about going to the business, we wanted to work with the call centers and the BPOs.
Oh,
Because
But
was
that
the
industry is
era,
tough
diba?
to get
Yeah.
into at the starting.
right.
So around, I think time I came in maybe 2003. It's hard to get into that. You can't just go and pitch right away. A lot of these, until today, a lot of these companies are work based on relationships.
That's true.
So I was able to work with a designer who introduced me to a BPO that was setting up shop here in Mandaluyong. So this is all the WCC building. They were setting up their first call center. It's about 600 people were there.
Yeah.
So that was my first big break, I suppose.
I
for
guess
for
if
the
I
call
could name it,
center.
is that Teleperformance? Parang yun yung
It's-
nandun sa-
It was called a company called Dodo from Australia.
It's a different one.
Dodo from Australia.
But
Yeah.
it was the era kasi talaga, sir, ng BPO, no? Di ba? During
Yeah.
the 2000s, 2003, you mentioned.
2000 and
Early
no,
on.
actually that was around 2006, 7.
2006.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in law
Ramping.
school at that time.
Yeah.
Wait, pero going back lang, if you would notice yung story, he met the person from the BPO through a relationship. So you would go
yes.
back to the first ever thing that your dad told you. Na it's really built in relationships.
Yeah.
So talagang he was true to what he was telling you. Na everything should be built.
You
based
can't
on-
build a business without it.
Exactly.
All right. I'm also curious, no, Attorney Ken. What were the systems like? Kasi di ba, when you joined the company of your dad, I guess it's pretty old school. A lot of things are being done manually, for sure.
Yeah.
So what were the systems like in terms of when you're doing, since it's in sales, for sure you're doing quotations, you're sending out quotations to your clients.
Mhm.
How was it like back then? Meron ba kayong system na ginagamit or you're just doing things manually like on a spreadsheet?
Okay. So, part of the challenge was when I came in, a lot of our sales were with resellers and dealers. Okay.
Okay.
So you're talking about them sending us a purchase order, and then we would just have to encode the order. Or when we would pitch to them, we would just tell them the item and the price and negotiate a purchase order over
Mhm.
that. When I came in and now you start talking to end users, the market's totally different. You have to learn all of that. Now you have to think about, okay, what's my template gonna be like? What's my presentation gonna be like?
Mhm.
Now I have to gather all these pictures, which I didn't have to do that before because when you work with end users, a lot of the work tends to be more bespoke.
Mhm.
Yes.
So a bespoke presentation, a bespoke
Mhm.
proposal. So I had to learn all of that from scratch. Made some mistakes along the way. Thank God for PDF quotations and eventually we started using ERP system ourselves, which goes back to the first company that I worked. I worked for Jupiter Systems when I was here. So I learned about the ERP industry.
But
So
did you get the ERP from them or you kind of?
we had to evaluate, and we ended up choosing a different
A
one.
different
Yeah,
one.
as well.
Right.
This episode is supported by Shipley.
For businesses that pack and ship orders every day, having the right supplies matter.
Shipley is a trusted packaging and shipping supplies brand for Philippine businesses, offering quality products, competitive prices, and reliable shipping for teams that need to keep operations moving.
For boxes, mailers, bubble wrap, and shipping supplies, visit shipley.ph. So I think I would switch up a little, Attorney Ken. Would you like to explain to us the difference between Mobler and CubixOffice? Yun nga, dahil nga medyo magkaiba yung market nila. What makes each one of them different?
I see. So Mobler Contract Group, that's actually our company name. And for most of our dealers, that's the company that they're aware of. When they buy our products are usually unbranded when it gets to them.
Right.
And they just resell it to their customers. So the customers probably doesn't even know
That
which
it's
company
you.
that it was sourced from, doesn't show our brand.
Mm-hmm.
When we market CubixOffice, we're really telling our customers, this is our brand. It's Cubix. And we put a premium to the service. We provide delivery.
Mm-hmm.
We do provide some form of service. Could it be assembly or even installation? So it's a more curated experience for the customer.
So would you say like Mobler is more of a mass market furniture while Cubix is more of that premium level? So you try to hit like both markets.
Yes. It's a lot faster to get more volume with mass market. So we use Mobler for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cubix would tend to be, I guess, more for the end user, and the volume would not be as much. So yes, it would be a little more premium, a more premium experience.
Right. So it's more B2C.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
B2C.
Yeah.
All right. Sir Ken, at what point did you stop seeing the furniture business as your father's company and start seeing it as your own? So it looks like that diba, you took it to the next level.
I'm not sure that ever really got to me just because it's a
Really?
family business per se.
Right.
But when I started doing Cubix, I would think that it's something that I built, a division that I built within the company. So it's like a company within a company
Mhm.
because we weren't doing that before. So I suppose that was when you start taking ownership of your
what?
customers, of the whole experience. You start feeling responsible for the people that you've hired, as opposed to just being part of a big umbrella organization.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would just like to ask, curious lang ako, out of all your brothers, you said you're 4, right?
Yes.
Lahat po kayo nag-work sa company niyo or no?
It's hard if it's 4 of us.
Yeah,
No. So
I
it's just
know.
2 of
Yeah,
us. It's just
yeah.
2 of us.
Just two. Okay.
Yeah, 2 of us. Yeah. So my older brother, he works with most of our resellers, and I work with more of our end users and partners.
Okay, that's good. So for our aspiring bosses, how big of an operation yung ginagawa niyo po ngayon dun sa furniture company niyo?
Well, in terms of personnel or
In terms of how much you supply technically to the market with Cubix and also with Mobler, how big is it now?
Well, Well, we're I guess we're fortunate enough that we're working with like nine figure numbers, right?
Nice.
Yeah. And well, we have about maybe 70 people.
Oh,
I
that's
guess
good.
employed, 70 to 80 people employed.
Is there still growth like year on year when you?
Year on year, well, it's been quite slow just this past couple of months.
Uh-huh.
But we are thinking of that we could grow more by adding more products to the market. Most of our customers, they're already our customers and they tend to be repeat customers. So perhaps looking at more opportunities to retarget them or maybe upsell them. That's really what we're focusing on at the moment, as opposed to looking for new customers.
Agree. Okay, so what are the other moving parts now that you're technically the boss of the company? Ano yung mga considerations niyo po now that you're trying to move things around and make it better? Like what you've said, ano po yung mga things na dapat alalahanin nila?
Balik tayo sa devil in the details, diba? Okay,
Yes.
so process is still there. Getting the right people, onboarding the right people. We're a family-owned business, so I'd say we're still a very flat organization.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the challenge for us is building that middle management in between.
Right.
It's easier said than done.
That's true.
It's been a really long journey. And I think that's really the toughest part for every business for them to scale. Is really once you get to build that middle management, then that's when you can say, hey, I can sit down, let that business find time to do something else.
Yeah, and I think, sir, it also comes with, yun nga, devil in the details. So I think it's more of, not really micromanaging pero it's more of really entrusting what you know to a middle manager for them to be able to run it on their own. So ano yung parang tip mo for other business owners once they get to that point?
Well, number one is know the business, right? So if you do know the business, then you know what to expect. Number two, I work with my middle managers and I make sure they understand what their KPIs would be or what their expectations are. When do I want them? So that when I do talk to them, they can present it to me and we can check if these are what we're trying to target. Onboarding would be just continuously training them. It never stops because learning really never
That's true.
stops. If you could, so we hold sessions where we would talk about a certain topic and see what kind of peer-to-peer learning we can pick up from there. So if we have a project, good or bad, let's meet, let's talk about it. What do we learn from that project?
Yeah, talking about this challenges, Attorney Ken, since you mentioned how you're dealing with the middle managers, of course, a big part also of your operations to be able for you to, really, alam mo yun, yung maging maayos lahat ng flow, no? This is where systems come in. So you mentioned earlier about the ERP. Right now, ano yung pinaka-important system na nagpapatakbo dun sa business nyo ngayon to make it really work? Aside from having these people, trusted people that you can delegate work into and manage also the different teams that you have. Kasi this is a big team.
Yeah.
Diba? Imagine managing a furniture company. This is not a small restaurant lang na you have, a couple number of staff. You have a lot of people. So you have to monitor a lot of things. So ano yung ginagawa natin ngayon, sir, na para ma-make sure natin we're not prone to errors, medyo meron tayo mga hindi na overlook na details. Ano yung na-inject nyo pa, sir, na system infrastructure, kumbaga, dun sa business nyo to really make it work and make sure na pwede kayong matulog sa gabi and it will just, it will operate ng kahit hindi ako nai-stress or isip about it.
As you talk about, I call them the 3 Ps, like people, process, and product. Okay? So people I mentioned, if you're able to onboard, if you're able to build middle management, so that it can run by itself, then that's gives you that peace of mind. Product, if you know that your product's gonna work and it's not gonna break, we're in the furniture business. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that the product that won't break, well, up to a certain level. Okay. It's not
Usage
always
din naman.
durable. Okay. It's always
usage
durable.
din naman, sir.
But it depends on that. And always give that warranty and service to give that customer that peace of mind. And lastly, you mentioned about process. Just train, repeat, right now we're using tech.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to
we
say,
use
what are
ERP,
tech
so
stack.
we're using an ERP system. We are in the process, but I guess it's still a little bit hazy to talk about it right now. Is with all this AI coming out, you're gonna start of thinking, hey, what can I do to help automate the business? You know,
Agree.
how can I make my people more efficient? Okay, so just to give a case in point, if you were asking somebody to encode 100 purchase orders, there's bound to be a mistake there somewhere.
True.
But what if the system can scan it, fill up the screen, and then your staff would have to go and just check.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that then make them more efficient, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
true.
that would free up more time, and then I can maybe perhaps give them more things to do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pero as the boss, sir, syempre may learnings din tayong nakukuha along the way. What would you say was your biggest mistake, or have you ever had anything done technically wrong that you felt like, oh my God, kasalanan ko to?
If you notice this pattern wherein I wanted to get into something and just go into just like law school, right?
Yeah.
Just to get a bucket list and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking that when you wanted to start a furniture brand, everything had to be nice and shiny.
Yeah.
So I decided to open a showroom, not doing the numbers, not really thinking about the marketing. It was like, I'm a furniture brand. We have to have a showroom, right?
Mhm.
Well, we couldn't get the traffic to come in there, and so I signed a lease for a couple of years. And when you really look at all our sales, it was all through relationships.
Mhm.
It wasn't through people walking in. It wasn't through the use of the showroom. So ended up losing money out of it. And I didn't make the mistake one time. I did it twice. So I opened 2 showrooms. So those are the things where you're like, okay, fool me once, fool me twice, shame on.
All right. So as of this moment, sir, wala nang showroom. Or
So we have a display and we have it in our office. So we
Right.
converted some of the spaces and again, just use relationships, then try to bring people to come in, and if they want to build some trust and confidence in your company, then you would show them a sample of the work that you've done. Yeah.
Curious lang ako, sir. Dun sa office, is that also where the manufacturing capacity is sitting? Wherein you can
We have one facility that
you can
has
show your
manufacturing
clients,
and our
this is
display.
how we do it.
Yes.
Kasi minsan, mas ano pa yun mas interesting yun for clients
Yeah.
Rather
That's
than
true.
seeing the end product.
So totoo lang, it's like a field trip.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
For me, because
that's
it
the
gives
exact
me...
field trip talaga.
Yeah, because it's gonna make me feel na trusted yung pagpapagawaan ko ng isang bagay.
Yeah,
Kasi I can see like, there's really a manufacturing happening
Yeah.
behind it. It's not a scam. I can see it. Matutouch and feel nila. So I think mas importante yun for others compared to a showroom where it's just an end product.
I'm glad you said that. I'm going to keep that as my script as well.
So, Attorney Ken, going back to what you were sharing earlier, no, dun sa biggest mistake mo and learnings. So, sa furniture business, syempre, yung mga boss natin, no, marami dyan, aspiring bosses who wants to pursue furniture business. Kasi there's a need, diba? There's a huge opportunity, may market talaga. What can you still share with us na parang this is where things can go wrong pa? Para kumbaga na-anticipate na nila,
Exactly.
di ba? Or namin. Kasi we were thinking of...
Well, e-commerce is good. A lot of companies want to go into e-commerce and start selling and trading. The thing about furniture, it's quite bulky.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have to think about damages. Okay. You have to think about the logistic that comes into it. It gets quite costly to ship furniture. So for those who want to go into the business, make sure you have a very good supply chain that could work with you. Just the right distribution partner who would manufacture and import your goods for you.
But aside from that one, any manufacturing risks or other like supplier risk at that point where you feel like kailangan mo rin silang matulungan or mabigyan ng tips?
Well, with most as with most manufacturing, I mean, you have to learn what are the different technologies, whatever is uso today might not be uso tomorrow. Case in point, we work with some retail partners where when we make a product for them, they want to buy this model. So you spend all that research and development to present something that they might like, and they just buy it for one season because they want something new all the time, something fresh. So there's always that challenge wherein you have to pour your resources into design, research, and development, always innovative.
Attorney Ken, I know it's not easy to, diba, manage a furniture company because as you've said earlier when you were sharing everything to us as how you're doing the business now, being it bespoke, diba, customization is there. I guess for sure you have already experienced also yung mga problems with clients, irate clients, like ano ba, after sales. May mga nangyari ba? Can you parang share with us a specific scenario?
Delivery.
May aberya ba sa delivery or may na-deliver bang mali or damage? How are you handling?
Ang hirap pag mali yung furniture na biglang rejected ha. Any stories about it?
Well, fortunately, I haven't had wrong deliveries.
Okay, great.
That's great news. But of course, I mean, we have see, everything that you say before a but just gets canceled out, right? So we have products wherein we come in and then we deliver it for them.
Yeah.
And we have this term, we call it tolerance. Okay. So you want to make sure that everything that you could see within arm's length, if you don't see any defects, then it's okay.
Right.
But anything wherein you're looking at, say, 6 inches away and you spot a defect, again, you don't know. Your every customer is different. Every person has their own
May iba
tolerance.
kasi na talagang
what's that scratch? And
exactly.
you're like, oh my God.
Very
okay.
maselan.
Very, 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 very maselan. So those are the furniture is. So when you work with furniture, it's something that people sit on, they experience. So it something that might not matter to one might matter more to another.
Yeah.
That's true. Pero that's quite true. Kasi iba-iba talaga yung market and iba-iba yung tao. Pero I think labas muna tayo a little bit or step back tayo a little bit from your day-to-day operations or your business. I would like to ask, how do you actually manage your time with you being a lawyer, managing a business, and of course your family? So how do you do it, sir?
I joke about it. I call my law career a night job. Okay.
Oh.
So this is my day job. Everything we've been talking about, that's been my day job. So I work on it 5-6 days a week, and I concentrate on, doing my passion, which is law. That's what I do. I do at night time.
But you still do it like, as in practicing po kayo ngayon?
Yeah, I do take on a couple of clients. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Sobrang galing doon. Ang dami niyo pong time. Pero how do you manage your time with your family, with you managing the business nga? And do you have kids?
So I do have kids. I have an 8-year-old and a soon-to-be 1-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And it does make me feel guilty because I don't get to spend as much time with them. So you have to make an effort. It's not easy, right?
That's true. But if you were given the chance or the choice, would you rather hand off some of your tasks to someone else to be able to give time to your family?
That's why I love what we're talking about process here, because you can't be able to free up your time unless you're able to start building that process.
Yes. I agree.
Right. Once you build that process, that repeatable process, then I can free up more time for myself. Then I can say, hey, I get to spend more time with my family.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. To our future bosses, with process in mind, does AI help with this? So, as ang na-mention nyo kanina, sir, di ba? Talaga, it will really help if there's if you're managing the people right, if there's a process in place, and then we've talked about tech, and then we've mentioned a bit about AI, di ba? So, how do you think it can really help more the business. And if you can share with our bosses, ano pa yung pwede natin, ma-benefit from the AI scene now, di ba? Talagang talks about AI is always, kumbaga,
gonna be there.
nandyan na. Oh.
That's
It's
true,
always
that's
been
true.
there. You'll see that on social media. A lot of influencers have been talking about AI, about a lot of operators have been sharing about how AI has been able to help them, di ba?
With the
Improve
processes.
their
That's true.
processes and also improve their month-on-month growth for their business.
So the goal of every boss is to make a repeatable version of themselves.
That's
right?
true.
Okay. Now take that repeatable version and turn that into something that's actually
Working.
tech enabled, right? So if you're the kind of person wherein if you see an inquiry come in, okay, and you would evaluate it, is this a lead that I want to work on? Let me see. What's his name? Where does he work? Is he procurement or not? I mean, you would do all of these. So what if you take all of that processes and use something like AI to automate that work? Then you've made an AI repeatable version of yourself.
That's true.
So if you're able to put that into place, then that does take some of the time
Exactly.
off your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why I am very much curious, Vanya? Kasi nga, I know for a fact that before becoming a lawyer, nasa tech Caesar di ba?
Yeah.
Engineering. So, ang ano ko talaga is how as he uses time in IT to maximize his skills and also exploring AI tech now, di ba?
That's true.
That's the reason why I have.
So personally, sir, do you
questions.
use anything now, like AI based in your process?
So we've been using it quite a bit right now in our HR and admin. So
Nice.
a lot of our onboarding, a lot of our, we would even do AI transcripts for our interviews just to at least help me evaluate some of our candidates. It does make things a lot easier for us.
Totoo naman talaga. With the power of AI, sometimes, yun nga we always think that if we can clone ourselves into something else, then it's gonna be good. Pero yung AI, now that it has that intelligence to repeat the process that you've been doing yourself and then do it for someone else, it will really give you time more for yourself para naman you can focus on other things. Especially when you're a boss, right?
Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
This episode is supported by Shoppable Business.
When your company needs to buy for the office, operations, IT, facilities, or daily business needs, Shoppable Business helps make procurement easier.
With access to over 100 million products, competitive business pricing, and payment terms, teams can source what they need without chasing suppliers one by one.
For the best prices and service on business supplies, visit shoppable.ph.
Yeah. So, Attorney Ken, handling a furniture business might seem daunting, no, at first. And as a first-time listener, but if there is always one thing that I believe inspires aspiring entrepreneurs, it's the big benta. So, ang question ko, Attorney Ken, when was the time that you felt that your journey in the furniture business was worth it?
I may have said that earlier, so I sort of repeat that again. I knew it was totally worth it once I was able to close that first big contract with the BPOs. Then I knew that I was in law school at that time. I was telling myself, should I go full-time in law school and just focus on it?
Right.
Okay. But once I got that big benta to that call center that I mentioned earlier, then I said, hey, wait a minute. This might actually be worth it. So let me figure out a way to make this work.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting because sometimes people choose either or.
Yeah.
Pero sometimes naman you can actually choose both.
Yeah.
Like ginawa ni Attorney Ken, no? Pinili niya pareho kasi he is gonna make it work.
Yes.
Right? So going back, Attorney, you mentioned a while ago that you met your wife while studying in law. How important is your wife's support and your journey as a business owner in all this?
It's I guess it's sort of cliche, but I was able to make time for her because I knew that, being around her
Mm-hmm.
helped give me inspiration to what I was doing. And she understood the challenges that I was in. She
Right.
understood that there were time challenges that involved with a working student like myself. But she was there, and now I'm happy to say she's my wife. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is she doing now? I'm just curious. Because you met her while she was studying.
yeah, so she was studying pre-med,
Uh-huh.
and I was with her through med school.
Oh, wow.
And she works as a corporate doctor, but right now she's taking of our 1-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Pero
yeah.
ang galing ha. Lawyer and doctor. Sobrang galing nung combination na yon.
Yeah.
So, ang question ko, which changed you more? Becoming a lawyer, becoming a businessman, or technically becoming a father? Ang hirap
Once
ng
you
question
become-
paisip.
Well, each has its own, I guess, milestones or realizations. But the first two you mentioned, the focus was on making more,
Yeah.
getting a good career, getting that first big benta, getting that first client, making it as lucrative as possible. It's different when you're a dad. Okay, I was married, by the way, for about 12 years, but we had our first child like 4 years into the marriage.
Mhm.
And that's when you start thinking that, hey, it's not about you anymore. Now you have to be a dad. Now you have to be responsible. Now you have to make time for your wife. And now you have to make time for your child
That's
also as
true.
well. So you want to be there for them also as well. So it started getting real once you become a dad. So I'd say that was probably a bigger... I grew up my life thinking about everything was about making more.
Mhm.
And I think that's when you're dad, you started thinking that you started being able to look at other things and look at the bigger picture, which is, making time, spending time with them. Make sure you don't miss out on those key moments.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And a lot
Yeah.
of business owners actually choose that route. Maybe because the goal is to have more time for the family.
Mhm, mhm.
Kasi syempre, when you're in the corporate world, you go to work at 8 to 5. So barely any,
Mhm.
like with the travel time and all. So barely any time for the rest of the family, right?
Yes, yeah, I agree. Upon hearing, what Attorney Ken was sharing with us, bigla akong binalikan yung tanong ko kanina ano ba yung mas importante? Yung time or pera? Di ba? So that was the question that I was asking our bosses during our introduction. So Attorney Ken, bilang a person of your success and stature, ngayon, ito na yung tanong ko. What is more important? Is it time or pera?
It's still a work in progress, but I'd say that if you do set up a good system in place, that means that you're trying to free up more time. Hence, you can make more money.
That's true.
Therefore, you can't make more money if you don't free up your time. I'd say time is more important.
I love that answer. Maiiyak na ako. I think personally, because I also have kids. So
Yeah.
it's more of like having that time
Yeah.
to spend with the kids is really, really very important.
Yes,
I think
yes.
you as well, diba?
Yeah, me too. I 100% agree with that.
That's true.
Yeah.
So today, how would you quantify, babalik tayo, if you would rate yourself overall, how would you quantify the success of Mobler as of today?
I'm still not satisfied in terms of the success. The systems still have a work in progress. I'd say maybe I'm still only a 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
I know that once we set the systems in place, then we can go higher. And then I'll also get more time out of it.
All right. So with that in mind, Attorney Ken, what is the future of Mobler?
So our future would be really focusing on becoming every company's supply chain partner for furniture.
Oh, that's nice.
It's growing, working with contractors, working with resellers, working with trading companies. So they could outsource to us all their work, and then they would be the ones to go and work with their customers. So if your customers are looking for value priced office furniture solutions, then welcome to work with us.
Okay, that's a good future to have. And we're looking forward to seeing Mobler go that route, Attorney Ken. Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Ken, for sharing your story. And I think as we end the show, please introduce yourself and your business to us again.
Hi, I'm Kenzie. I'm Vice President of Marketing for Mobler Contract Group. And if you're a contractor, a reseller, or a trading company looking for value price furniture, give us a call and we'll help make sure that you get the product you need at the prices that you want. Our email address is marketing@moblercontractgroup.com.
All right, one last question, Attorney Ken. Anong pwede niyong iwanang advice for our aspiring founders and future bosses that are watching us today?
Probably the best advice I could tell people is you really look at your system. Maybe take a recording of yourself, get all your thoughts and have that all written down. And then make sure that you communicate it to your people so you can build that culture where they know how you think, how you act.
Yeah.
So you can one day replicate yourself.
That's really the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Attorney Ken, for joining us today.
Thank you for being here, having me.
Mga boss, I hope sa mga pangarap natin, tandaan, what we have most valuable is our time.
Agree ako with that one. So just like Attorney Ken, we can always maximize it, grow, build, but most of all, spend it with the people that makes us who we are. So with the time that we have, let's all learn what we have to so we can all be successful.
Because every boss
Starts with a Benta.
This is Benta Bosses.
We started
The
using
first thing I
Quotable
ever
6
sold was
But that industry's tough.
From unang benta to boss.
So, ready ka na ba? Visit QuotableAI.
From quote to payment, they've got the systems to turn your hustle into a milestone.
Follow us on our socials to stay updated on the next boss we're bringing to the table.
Subscribe to Benta Bosses on your favorite podcast platform and share this with another aspiring entrepreneur.
This has been Benta Bosses.